You're watching ABC10 Plus This Week.
Hi everyone, I'm Walt Gray. You're watching ABC10 This Week. The man accused of murdering Angelica Bravo was arrested. What we know about the capture of Cameron Lee. In dollars and cents, a new study shows Sacramento has become one of the most popular destinations for home buyers. Then we hit the back roads. John Bartell takes us to Mendocino County, where a legendary racehorse that inspired a Hollywood movie still captures hearts nearly a century later. ABC10 This Week starts right now.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laura Painter.
And I'm Chris Thomas. We start tonight with major new developments in the search for a Sacramento fugitive. He was wanted for the murder of the mother of his children, Angelica Bravo.
The Sacramento County District Attorney's Office, along with the FBI and Sacramento Police, announced the arrest of Cameron Lee and the return of Bravo's 2 children. The case started back on July 8, 2024, when Sacramento Police responded to a home on Ditcott Circle and found Angelica Bravo dead.
According to Customs and Border Patrol, he was arrested at the San Isidro Port of Entry on May 18th. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias is live at the DA's office tonight. A news conference was held just hours ago.
Roxanne, you've been following this story closely for more than a year now. Tell us about the significance of today.
Laura, this has been a long-awaited day here for the family of Angelica Bravo, who has spent sleepless nights hoping for the return of their grandchildren and the arrest of Cameron Lee. I did reach out to Bravo's mother earlier today, and she said she's not ready to speak publicly quite yet, but she seemed in good spirits now with the return of her 2 grandchildren.
Since July of 2024, Angelica Bravo's family has been waiting for justice.
After almost 2 years, Angelica Bravo's family has endured the pain of not knowing where their daughter's accused murderer could be after fleeing with her 2 children, Athena and Mateo. Bravo, a mother of 3, was found dead inside the Sacramento home of her ex-boyfriend, Cameron Lee, on July 8, 2024. On Tuesday, Sacramento County District Attorney Tin Ho marked a break in the case.
With the dedicated partnership between the FBI and the Sacramento Police Department, we can now announce that Cameron Lee is in custody.
The DA says it was a tip that led investigators to his capture in Primo Tapia in Baja California, Mexico on Sunday.
We believed Lee had fled to Mexico to escape prosecution for the murder of his partner, Angelica Bravo.
They also found the children with him, Athena, now 5, and Mateo, 4, now reunited with their maternal grandmother, Dawn Bodea. The FBI crediting a media campaign that spanned beyond the U.S.
We received half a dozen of credible tips, and actually the one that was most important, which led to the capture of Cameron and the recovery of his 2 children.
Because tips are anonymous, they cannot share who this person is. Grateful. But back in January, Bodea, Bravo's mother, said it would only take 1 person and the children could be home.
It's been really hard.
Over time, the grandmother speaking to ABC 10 at every opportunity and was relentless in finding her grandchildren. Cameron now facing multiple charges. On Tuesday, I directly asked the DA about his confidence in prosecution. Obviously, this has been a very difficult journey for the family, and all they want to see is justice. Can you speak on your commitment?
He is being brought back to Sacramento, and he will face charges. We have already filed 1 count of open murder against Cameron Lee, along with 3 assault weapon charges. He will face criminal prosecution here in Sacramento, and we will obtain justice for the Bravo family and those 2 children.
The DA's office says Cameron Lee is in San Diego right now, but he will be brought up to Sacramento. And once he is booked into jail in the next 24 to 48 hours, he will make his first court appearance. And depending on the investigation, there may be additional charges that are filed.
Okay, Roxanne, what a relief those children are safe and sound. We know you'll be following this investigation and case every step of the way. Keep us posted as you learn more. Roxanne, thank you. We start tonight with continuing coverage of the man accused of killing 2 people in a semi-truck crash near Lodi this week. He faced a judge for the first time today.
Now questions about the truck driver's immigration status are being raised. ICE says he's in the country illegally.
ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen is live in Stockton tonight with the latest on what happened in court today. Jeannie.
Kristen, Laura, Manveer Singh was attentive and alert while speaking to his attorney and the judge during his arraignment this afternoon. He did plead not guilty, and even though he is charged and accused of killing a 20 and 16-year-old, his attorney tells me that this is nothing more than just a tragic accident.
Calling the matter of Manveer Singh.
Just 2 days after this deadly crash in Lodi, Manveer Singh appeared before a judge for the first time.
There is no skid marks on the road prior to the collision, meaning that he did not step on the brakes, and he indicated he was going between 55 and 60 miles an hour when he crashed into the first car.
More details came to light in court as the San Joaquin County District Attorney argued Singh tried to run away from the scene.
He went to one of the victims and tried to drag him out of the car. The individual screamed, so he let go and he decided to flee the scene.
Adding that had it not been for law enforcement, Singh would have been long gone.
Police found him in the back seat of an Uber, but for the fact that the police department showed up and was there, he would have been gone.
The DA says because of Singh's actions, a 20 and 16-year-old are dead. The mother is still recovering at the hospital. Another person has a fractured spine, and one other person has a broken hand.
There's no allegation of my client being under the influence, doing anything other than being unable to stop his vehicle in time.
Singh's defense attorney argues his client is heartbroken over what happened, but maintains it was just an accident. On Thursday, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE called on Governor Gavin Newsom to keep Singh behind bars, claiming he entered in this country illegally in 2023. Neither the DA nor Singh's attorney could confirm his immigration status, but say he does have a valid commercial driver's license.
Whether he was born in the United States or in another country, he has a valid driver's license.
The DA says Singh was born in India and has been in the U.S. for 3 years. ICE says it has put a detainer on Singh, but his attorney says there is no proof of that.
We contact the jail. No such detainer exists.
ABC 10 reached out to DHS and ICE to ask if or when a detainer was sent, but a DHS spokesperson would not clarify.
I mean, he's definitely torn up about it. You could see talking to him. Nobody wants to be involved in something like this.
And bail has been set at $400,000. I do want to clarify that if he does post bail, he will have to surrender his passport, and he is allowed to continue to drive commercial vehicles with his commercial driver's license, and that is if he posts bail. Live in Stockton, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
Jeannie, we know you'll be following this case every step of the way. Keep us posted as you learn more. Thank you for the update.
Let's turn now to the race for governor. New details tonight after a story that Tom Steyer's campaign is under investigation by the California Fair Political Practices Commission.
They're accused of failing to properly disclose payments for campaign-related social media content. Now the Steyer campaign is making the same accusations against another Democratic candidate. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh joins us now with where things stand. Jenny.
Well, it's really a war of words right now, proof that we are deep into election season. But this is also about transparency for voters. Is a campaign paying for what you are seeing online?
So he invited me to ask him some questions. What do you have to say to young people?
Oh, pretty baby, I love you so well. Let's go.
It's these social media videos at the center of debate, content by popular creators supporting or opposing candidates for governor.
It is not illegal to expend money to have people promote your message.
Most candidates advertise online.
We see more and more social media content relating to candidates, relating to ballot measures, and that is a product of, frankly, a society that is hooked on and tied to social media.
What is required by state law is payment disclosure, both by the campaign and the content creator. That's why the Steyer campaign and influencer Isaiah Washington, to whom he paid $10,000, are under investigation by the FPPC. Steyer says his campaign has been transparent in disclosing payments. Washington has not responded to requests for comment. But those who filed the complaint, also content creators, argue Steyer needs to ensure the influencers disclose it too.
Engaging in these partnerships is not problematic, but they need to disclose for the benefit of the public to understand where the payment is coming from.
Caitlin Hennessy and Beatrice Gomberg also accused numerous other creators of not disclosing payments despite posting near identical pro-Steyer content. They also flagged this job posting, which the Steyer campaign confirmed the validity of, offering creators $1,000 a month plus bonuses depending on views to post pro-Steyer content 1 to 3 times a day. A Steyer spokesperson says creators are notified of their legal obligation to disclose payments. This part of my interview with Steyer Monday.
What do you pay them for?
We absolutely not. We pay them for their time.
But what does
and
that
let me
mean?
say this, Jenny. We are completely. That means that we pay them for doing work. They choose what to do.
You have no way in on the content.
No, they are independent businesses, independent small businesses. We pay them for their time. They do whatever they want to do.
Tuesday, the Steyer campaign filed an FPPC complaint against the Javier Becerra campaign over the same allegations. The complaint alleges content creators Jay Gonzalez and Maggie Reed were paid to post pro-Becerra content, but that both parties failed to disclose that. The Becerra camp says they have never paid a single creator for content and that Gonzalez is a paid digital strategist for the campaign. In a statement, Maggie Reed said in part, quote, "I have never accepted nor have I been offered money from Javier Becerra's campaign."
Now, Hennessy and Gomberg, the two creators that filed the complaint against Steyer, are Becerra supporters, though they say they have no affiliation to Becerra's campaign. And I want to reemphasize the Steyer campaign is under investigation by the FPPC, but it's unclear right now if they will be investigating the Becerra campaign. Jenny Ha, ABC 10.
In tonight's Dollars and Cents. A new study shows Sacramento and 6 surrounding counties are the most popular destination for relocating house hunters. I talked with a local real estate broker about why our region is so appealing and what this means for you.
What did you think of this report?
Well, I'm not really surprised. This is something I've seen for several years now.
Redfin says nearly 1 in 5 house hunters are looking to relocate, and Sacramento, Placer, Nevada, El Dorado, Yuba, Sutter, and Yolo counties are their top choice.
Sacramento really offers a combination that's really hard to find right now, which is the affordability, lifestyle, and I think the flexibility.
Kevin Otto, Sacramento-based broker and owner of Greenhaven Capital, says with the rise of remote work since the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people from the Bay Area have been moving to the Sacramento area. In fact, the study ranks San Jose, San Francisco number 3 on the list of places home buyers are leaving.
Buyers that are coming from places like the Bay Area get significantly more bang for their buck. And in many cases, they could keep a similar income and dramatically lower their monthly costs.
Otto says when more people want to move to our region, it supports home values, helps homes sell faster, and brings more economic activity into the region. More people moving into the area means more spending, more businesses coming in, and over time, that can lead to more job opportunities. He says we're already seeing that with growth in sectors like healthcare, government, and tech.
If you take a good look at Sacramento, there are tons of lower cost homes compared to other areas. And I still think, generally speaking, it is a very affordable area to live in.
A reminder, Otto says when you're looking for a home, it's not just about the maximum mortgage amount you qualify for. It's really about the maximum you can afford every month. For more money advice, stream all of our Dollars and Cents coverage right now on the free ABC10 app. Email me your money questions at lpainter@abc10.com.
10 on Your Side continues to hear from concerned retired teachers across the state who say they haven't been able to reach CalSTRS after a recent major website redesign. Tonight, we're getting answers, and we also have some suggestions if you run into a similar issue. Jan sent 10 on Your Side this message saying since they renovated their website, however, it's impossible to log in. I put my username in, which is the same username I've had from the beginning, and they say they do not recognize me in their system. Then they told me to re-register, so I put in the information they requested, and then they tell me that I need to have a valid email address and phone number on file and to fill out the change of address form. But I don't want to do that because I've not changed my address, so I feel like I'm just going in circles. And when I call, the wait time attempts to talk to an actual live person are completely ridiculous. In fact, I haven't been able to get into a queue of calls. They just say, "We're sorry, we have to handle other members before you, so please call another time." And then they hang up. So 10 on Your Side reached out to CalSTRS, and not only did they address Jan's issues, they offered some tips for all concerned teachers across the state. CalSTRS says thank you again for forwarding this member's request. Our contact center worked with her and reports her registration was a success, and she said all her questions were answered. We appreciate that you reached out to us so we could help her. And take a look. They have two big things to remember. Number one, CalSTRS says we recently launched a redesigned member portal as part of our pension administration system update. We hear our members' frustration about long hold times, and we are increasing capacity in our contact center. And number two, one of the biggest priorities of our recent update is to enhance security. As a financial institution, it's critical that we have the latest security measures in place, and with our new system, members must re-register with our online MyCalSTRS portal to put stronger protections in place. Our staff are working tirelessly to assist members while learning the new system, and we appreciate our members' patience, flexibility, and understanding during this time of transition. The good news is they say this is, quote, a temporary growing pain. Do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? ABC10 is here to help. Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
All right, 50 years ago today, a deadly bus crash forever changed the Yuba City community, claiming 29 lives connected to Yuba City High School.
Today, survivors, family, alumni, and students gathered to honor those lost and reflect on how the crash still shapes the community a half a century later. ABC10's Peter Warner has more from Yuba City.
Here on the Yuba City High School campus 50 years ago, tragedy struck campus. But today, in a memorial, the big focus was We Will Remember. 50 years ago, on May 21st, 1976, a Yuba City High School bus crash claimed 29 lives.
It means you never forget it.
For 1976 Yuba High graduate Chris Graben, a senior when the accident occurred, it took a moment to settle in.
I had to work till 9 o'clock at night, and that's when they started putting it on the radio, the names, and that's when I finally broke down.
And 50 years later, for alumni, faculty, and the Yuba City community, the emotions haven't gone away.
It is surprising the depth of the emotions that after 50 years, because you do stuff things away, although you always remember, and every year you remember it.
Today, we rededicate this tree to the memory.
And while there is sorrow,
I had tears on the way down here because I was surprised how fresh it all became yet again.
Chris Graben remembers how the community came together as one. Like one moment for a survivor from the crash at the 1976 Yuba City graduation.
She came to graduation, and when she stood up to receive her diploma that day, the entire stadium, the senior class, erupted out of their seats. It was a Hollywood moment, overwhelming, emotional, you never forget moment, and she was the sign of life through the tragedy. It was a good thing. It was a good thing to remember that.
And those connections carry through generations.
Every day I knew I could go to the Memorial Garden and have lunch right there with my uncle, who I've never known. And he would be there with me, and he was. And then I got to make friends, and I kind of, moved away from that. But that was a very core memory of mine from high school.
And today, the community did remember.
It's a positive thing. It's a good thing, so that out of the tragedy, you learn to love better. You treasure life. You never know.
As long as we're there together for each other, we're going to get through it, and we will remember, and we'll move on stronger in their memory.
And memorials like this and the new dedication of the tree hope to continue to help students here at Yuba City High remember for the next 50 years as well. In Yuba City, Peter Warner, ABC10.
Community members say while the pain of that day never fully goes away, neither does the support or the commitment to those who were lost.
The 2003 Academy Award-winning movie Seabiscuit told the real-life underdog story of an overlooked racehorse that became a symbol of hope during the Great Depression. But long before the Hollywood film, Seabiscuit's real home was tucked away in the rolling green hills just outside of Willits, California.
My name is Jacqueline Cooper. I'm the Vice President of Seabiscuit Heritage Foundation. Welcome to Ridgewood Ranch, the home of Seabiscuit here in Mendocino County.
Right off Highway 101, at the center of Ridgewood Ranch, stands a bronze memorial statue honoring a horse that once captured America's heart.
Was any of the movie shot here at all?
Well, Universal Studios didn't actually film here, but they sent a film crew and they wanted to get a lay of the land of Seabiscuit's home.
Visitors can tour Seabiscuit's historic barn, see the stalls where he lived after retiring from racing in 1940, and learn how the unlikely underdog became a legend.
Here we are at Seabiscuit Drive. We're having a look at Seabiscuit's stud barn. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2014.
The black and white photos lining the barn walls tells a story of a horse that many people once dismissed.
People looked at him and thought, oh, that poor lame horse.
Seabiscuit had a deformity in his leg that gave him an unusual gait, but that flaw may have actually made him faster around turns.
Actually, the limb deformity would work to his advantage. Laura Hillenbrand in her book put it like he would come around a turn on a track and he could bank like an airplane.
One man who believed in Seabiscuit was Charles Howard, a wealthy Buick dealership owner in San Francisco who became one of the richest men in America.
Charles Howard was noted as saying there would never be another Seabiscuit.
Howard assembled a team around the horse, including jockey Red Pollard, another underdog battling injuries of his own.
Here on the property, along with this jockey Red Pollard, who had also suffered a bone-shattering riding accident, and both of them would be seen here walking these trails, limping in unison. Red Pollard would say they had 4 good legs between them.
The bond between the horse and jockey helped inspire a nation struggling through the Great Depression.
People had lost their jobs and experiencing hardships. Here comes this little known horse from the West Coast, and he was able to win.
Seabiscuit and Pollard overcame injuries and setbacks, eventually defeating the mighty Triple Crown winner War Admiral in one of racing's most famous match races.
Seabiscuit was able to beat War Admiral, the Triple Crown winner in 1938 in a match race, and he was able to defeat him by 4 lengths, which was an incredible feat.
Today, the Ridgewood Ranch is managed by the Golden Rule Association, an agriculture nonprofit focused on stewardship of the land and service to others. It's here that Seabiscuit's bloodline is still bred today, and his unlikely story continues to inspire future generations.
From the Seabiscuit Heritage Foundation in Willits, California, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Hidden in the Sierra foothills in the town of Fiddletown sits a shop filled with history. For one family, it's also filled with memories.
You always discover new things anytime you go in the store. That's the beautiful part about this.
For David Yee, this isn't just a look at California history. It's a deeply personal connection to the people who came before him.
It's deeply meaningful to myself and our family. We have a deep personal connection. Our ancestor, made the journey from Canton, China, to Fiddletown, California, in search of a better life, looking for gold. My great-great-great-grandfather helped build the store.
His ancestor Yi Feng Chang came from China to California during the gold rush, hoping for opportunity. But like thousands of Chinese immigrants, they faced discrimination, violence, and extra taxes made survival difficult.
Because of the difficulties for the Chinese in looking for gold, he opted to practice herbal medicine.
So inside this small shop, Yi Feng Chang became a healer for the community, caring for Chinese miners and laborers using herbal remedies.
And so he would package the herbs in these little packages with Chinese characters on it, and you would take it home and you brew it as a tea.
And in 1862, his reputation reached far beyond Fiddletown after he created a remedy for Jane Stanford, the wife of California Governor Leland Stanford.
And she miraculously recovered, became quite famous in his day, and was honored by the governor. It sort of elevated the Chinese in the eyes of the general population.
And that history lives on today.
When you walk in here, you can't help but feel that history upon you. And to have that personal connection to this store is deeply meaningful to me.
That connection to healing continues, just in a different form.
I'm a urologist and urologic oncologist or cancer surgeon at Sutter Health. And so it's incredibly important for me and very gratifying that I am sort of following in the footsteps of my ancestors.
But his family's story is also one of sacrifice. Another one of his ancestors helped build the Transcontinental Railroad, part of a Chinese workforce that helped connect the country.
80% of the railroad from the western part of the United States was built by the Chinese.
But even with those contributions, many of those stories went unrecognized.
My grandaunt Jeannie Ju wanted to honor his story and Asian Americans who helped to build this country, but sort of were not recognized.
That push for recognition would eventually lead to something much bigger.
She worked with Congressman Frank Horton and then later with Congressman Norman Mineta to create a bill called Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so she went to Congress and it was unanimously passed.
The month, now known as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And for David Yee, that history isn't just about looking back. It's about understanding the role his family and so many others played in building America.
We've been part of this country's fabric for generations. And so we are part of the building of America and are very proud to be part of it.
In Fiddletown, Carolina Estrada, ABC10.
And thank you for watching ABC 10 This Week. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Walt Gray. Take care. We'll see you next time.
And remember, the ABC 10 Weather Impact team is always here for you 24/7. Get the latest conditions anytime with our live 24/7 radar on our free TV streaming app. Just scan the QR code for easy instructions to download the ABC 10 app wherever you stream ABC 10.